যদি সবাই ফিরে যায়, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি আলো না ধরে, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে, যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে, তবে বজ্রানলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে।
Hi guys, thanks a lot for joining this live stream. Today for the first time we have a simultaneous cast, a simcast with Nava Vimarsh to discuss a particular pressing topic. It's a debate. We will discuss RSS, and I couldn't put that up in the title and the thumbnail, etc., because of the heat on me. So the topic, it came up because of a person, mainly because of a video by a person called Shanmay Banerjee, who used to be in Congress, then was a BJP candidate, now is a YouTuber with about 2-3 channels. His main channel has about 1 million subscribers. He's one of those non-left news analyzing YouTube channels, okay, in Bengali. Very senior person, very respected person, etc. Now, he recently made a video saying that RSS has finally changed its stance on Trinamool. Now, we all know the accusations of the setting between RSS and Trinamool, BJP and Trinamool. RSS is soft corner for Mamta, and them considering Mamta some, I guess, version of Ma Durga, etc., or her having a really almost understandable respect for Mamta for her struggles against CPIM, her fighting and living to tell the tale against CPIM, etc. But my only qualm here is that why did it take so long to figure out that she in fact is a problem, or Trinamool in fact is a problem? And I can't be too harsh about this with RSS. I was planning to be a lot more harsh, but then I remembered that the few people that I have now come to know from RSS Bengal only, from all the book launches, etc., that I go to get invited to these days, they have been nothing but absolutely nice to me. And I have felt genuine affection. In Bengali, I would use the word sneh for me. That in simply the body language, the vibe that they give me, the way they ask me how I am, etc., and how they keep in touch, I get affection. I sense affection from them. But this particular issue, I think, is quite unforgivable. So we got our resident RSS defender Bhupenda to defend RSS, and he's going to be the third person to speak on this. First, we'll go to AcademicMan as well. So, AcademicMan, firstly, I have 3 questions for you. One, do you think this was bound to happen? Do you think this is a forgivable crime by RSS, that they took about 15 years to realize that Trinamool is as big a problem as CPIM, if not more, that Trinamool is anything other than a communist power, or were they bound to think of Trinamool as a little better than CPIM because of their obsession with Durga Puja committees, etc., and making temples here and there? And thirdly, do you know too many people from RSS? What's their organization like? Is it mainly full of bhalo kakus only, or are there as corrupt assholes as any other group in RSS as well?
Okay. So firstly, welcome everyone to Sasta Taliganj MCU. Okay. Okay. Having said that, uh, let's focus on the few issues at hand. So, is the RSS friendly with TMC, or does the RSS have a soft spot for TMC? What are the evidence? Okay, first let's talk a bit about some of the evidence that we have. So when Mohan Bhagwat ji spoke on Manipur and other issues, he often does not talk about Bengal. Okay, not openly at least. Okay, number one. Number two is uh, we see that otherwise where the intellectuals affiliated with the Sangh have commented on issues regarding even BJP, Congress, CPIM, often TMC is missing from these accusations and discussions. BJP has been accused many times by the RSS of many things, but TMC or Bengal strangely is missing sometimes from the discussion. Now, it is not. It is weird that that Bengal is little discussed in the country, where people talk about Manipur and many other things, Gujarat riots, Manipur, this, that, whatever, where every panchayat election, 100 people are dying, all that stuff. So, having said that, be it the Delhi media, be it national parties like Congress, BJP, or even NGOs like RSS and all, whose Karyakartas have died, by the way, in Bengal, it is surprising that people don't tend to talk about Bengal enough, what I say. Okay. So, having said all that, there is some prima facie proof that may be prima facie only that the Sangh has some kind of soft spot, allegedly soft spot for Mamata Banerjee or TMC. Now, your question is whether it is a crime or whether it's not a crime per se, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or whether it's a pragmatic thing or a not a good thing. Okay. So I'll tell you where this makes sense. I will try to play the devil's advocate and say where this might make sense, why it might make sense. So as we know, the Communist Party is not just a party; it is a force. It's an international organization. Okay, it is not a national party like TMC or BJP or AIADMK and or Samajwadi, all this stuff. CPIM is Communist Party of India, Marxist. Okay. What I mean by this is the CPIM has a support base outside of the country as well. What I mean by that is they have a huge number of supporters, ideologues who are coming from a foreign background, let's say, and whom we have seen have the support of many players in the US and other countries which are often very concerned about democracy and minorities in India, but they are strangely silent on Pakistan and Bangladesh and all that. So, given all this, the Communist Party is the perfect, let's say, schoolboy of this kind of ideology, because the Communist Party not only presents Hinduism in a bad light, it shows that Hinduism is equivalent to fascism. It shows that Hinduism is riddled with caste and other kind of problems like sati, caste, this, that, regionalism. It is responsible for most of the intellectual decadence and the issues that we face. Most of us who are from the Indic wing, we keep talking about problems that have been that apparently are there, right, including caste and religion and all that. And majority of these narratives have been supported and funded and provided even institutional support by the CPIM and the other communist parties, okay, communists, let's say, right? So given that, it is reasonable to assume that the CPIM or the communists in the country are a much bigger threat to India's Indic wing than any regional party, no matter how bad it is. Okay. Because it is a much more like difficult to defeat evil. Okay. If I am to call it evil. would you rather have a kind of an enemy who is half your size and can be easily defeated with one kick, or would you rather have a 200-foot giant coming at you? It's that question basically. Now, having said that, the CPIM also does something that these regional parties cannot do. The CPIM's leadership is not just Brahmin, the mostly overwhelmingly Brahmin. The CPIM's leadership is full of bhalo kaku type people and very respectable people who do the most heinous activities, and they get away with it because they look like good people. Okay, that is what works for the CPIM and goes against most regional parties and Congress and all this. Okay, and what happens as a result is the what is more apparent in the case of the regional and other kind of Congressy parties and stuff. These are not so apparent for the CPIM. So if you look at any Congressy government, which is like Lalu's government, Mamta's government, any or Akhilesh and all these people, right? You will see that there are allegations of corruption, there are allegations of criminal activities, organized crime, and all this stuff. But for the Communist Party, it is very difficult to point out such associations with the party itself. Not just that, there is the case of the electoral bonds. All political parties in India, except the Communist parties, have received electoral bonds. Okay, which means that they claim to be the only honest political party in the history of India. So where the BJP, Congress, TMC, Samajwadi, Aam Aadmi Party, everyone received crores and crores of rupees of what CPIM says black money from industrialists, that is not available to that CPIM does not accept. CPIM's accounts are very well maintained. They are public. They are not susceptible to corruption per se. They have a very white dhoti, if I am to put it that way. They have a very clean image among people, their supporters, and even the people from the Sangh and the BJP, even though they will accuse them of doing a number of things, like appeasement, minority appeasement, anti-Hindu activities, propaganda, taking over academia, all that stuff. The one thing they typically cannot accuse the Communist Party is of corruption and stealing public funds and gundaism and all that. Typically, CPIM keeps this under wraps in a very significant way. Okay. This is why I believe that the Sangh or the BJP, if the accusations you are saying are true, would prefer a party like the TMC or the Communist Party as a opposition with which they can deal with, which they have even some points of commonality in terms of ideology, let's say. Sometimes they do become Hindu. As opposed to the Communist Party, which is absolutely inherently against the very views, the very ideology, the very existence of the Sangh and the BJP. The Communist Party represents the very antithesis. It's like the antichrist of the BJP and the Sangh. So perhaps that is why there is a soft spot for Mamata Banerjee or the TMC. This is my analysis of the whole thing.
Yeah, but that was not my question. My question is, why did it take them 15 years to realize that, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's good that I gave that,
we needed that anyway. Yeah.
So now coming to your question, that why did it take them so long to realize that?
Is that a forgivable crime?
Yeah. West Bengal is also having a lot of bad issues, and there must be protests and there must be change. Now, it may just be that why did it take them so long? It's because, I don't know. Honestly, one thing that I've seen in recent times is that people in India, people in the rest of the country, right? I'm not a Kashmiri, I won't say people in India and people in Bengal, right? I'm going to say rest of the country. People have started speaking about the issues of West Bengal, which was very much absent in the last I don't know, 10 years or so. Okay. Bangladesh was also an issue. I believe it was a thorn where people like us knew what was happening in Bangladesh, but because a government which is allegedly close to the current ruling dispensation and government of India generally, even under Congress and even under BJP, Hasina government was always close to India, right? So after Hasina left, I think these issues of communal politics, communal violence, minority rights in Bangladesh, infiltration, all this stuff has come up in a way that I have not seen in the last 10 to 15 years at least, or maybe even before. Like before, we thought Bangladesh was highly secular and nice place. Okay. So perhaps there is a crisis of confidence among the people, and the Sangh is trying to again address that and say that, okay, you know what, we played the secular game for a bit and it's not working out so well for us in terms of perception, and maybe they're working towards that, or because they are seeing that whatever they thought could be achieved in terms of organization and the kind of hold they have over the Hindu community, that is being eroded if you have a open border system in Bengal, where infiltration is happening every day, right? So perhaps these are some factors that have really scared them, I guess, or they are realizing there's a crisis of image, crisis of confidence, without which with which they can't appease, they can't keep the Hindus of India happy. So they're saying, okay, then maybe let's solve the issues in Bengal because we can. So maybe that's what has changed in the recent times.
Okay, I'll save my counter arguments and counter questions for after Bhupenda has spoken. So Bhupenda, firstly, is it justified that the RSS had in fact a soft corner for Mamata? And is it justified that they took 15 years to realize that the soft corner in fact is not justified?
Okay, let me answer this question as much as possible. So first of all, I want to jog your memory. Okay, 1975 when you had the emergency. Date I'm not getting. So when you had the emergency, correct? So and RSS actually worked with every party, including communists, to actually restore democracy. So so whatever I have read about RSS in terms of their functioning, their political posturing, their social posturing, and their actual groundwork. Okay. So there is a kind of a constant string of thought, okay, that whatever may happen, okay, we will be able to recover. Okay. So when emergency happened, they had worked and their leadership was gone, everything was there, and they still could recover and actually became a much stronger organization. Okay. The kind of presence RSS has post 1975 is actually maybe double the size. Okay. So RSS, in terms of organizational memory, correct, you have institutional memory. The institutional memory says that whenever there is a ban, whenever there is hindrance to their functioning, the organization comes together, it finds way to actually solve those problems and become much more resilient at what it wants to do. So now take that question in that context, that communism was something which was RSS recognized that way. Communism something which is going to destroy the whole economy itself and maybe the whole country itself. Okay. So RSS may have, I don't know, may have created a kind of a bond or worked with TMC or even Congress to actually remove CPM. Okay. When that had happened, okay, now then correct there and correct RSS or the BJP or the correct, they know that whom they are dealing with. They already knew that the kind of culture, political culture which was there in Bengal, so there would be violence and there people will die. People have been dying in elections in West Bengal since 1977 onwards, if I want to count CPM's onset to power. So RSS say, okay, some people are dying a little bit because they already been dying. Yeah, now coming to your primary question, can we forgive RSS for being so late to understand that now the monster that we had thought, okay, it was a benign monster, we will try to contain it, okay, we will have our own organization, and then we will be able to work with them, okay. Is it now the benign monster has become too big, so that it is now threatening the demography of Bihar, Jharkhand, UP, and even other states where through illegal immigration? So 50% is that, first of all, I would say that, okay, RSS has made a very big blunder in terms of misjudging the way they have handled West Bengal, specifically 2021. When 2019 BJP had a landslide, okay, that was a very important 5-year period between 2019 elections and 2024, where they could have actually pushed the envelope much more harder and created a base for them by changing the specific policy in the upper echelons, including Rajnath Singh and other people, okay, who are like RSS stalwarts, and they control a lot of policies in terms of central policy of BJP, how they are going to work with Congress and other parties. So, in my opinion, yes, they have made a very, I would say, not irrecoverable, but a very damaging blunder, and it will take time for them to actually rectify it. Finally, they have, and I think we need, there is always a silver lining in, I would say, bad things happening. So 5th August 2024 is something which has woken up RSS, that the monster that they were thinking, it doesn't exist. Yes, so
Now,
it is a blunder.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it is a blunder, and they have done a very bad miscalculation.
What was the key reason for even entertaining this thought at all, that that TMC is a little less dangerous than CPIM? What was the basis for that? If AcademicMan, you want to answer it after Bhupenda, feel free. Okay.
Bhupen, go ahead. Maybe I can after that I can.
Yeah. So there is no exact answer to this, because correct, we don't know how the upper echelons of leadership within RSS or within BJP like deal with political parties. Okay, we know for a fact that they do talk. Okay, in multiple forums.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how they, I think it is a kind of, again, the trade-off kind of thing. Correct. What Thomas Sowell has mentioned, that your bigger enemy is CPM. Okay. So let's now make friends with TMC. Okay. Remove them and let's give TMC passes. If although they are doing bad things, let's keep it there and let's say, can we work with them? See, I have made this book here. If you see this book, okay, this book is conflict resolution. I have kept this book deliberately for that reason, for this podcast. See, this mentions the way they have resolved issues in Kashmir, Northeast, all those things. Correct. So there is a peculiar way the way RSS deals with conflicts. So this book has documented this. So the way generally we perceive, okay, political parties or political organizations deal with political matters in terms of ideology and other things, RSS has its own way of dealing with those conflicts. So in that way, they are not going to be conventional. The way they have dealt with TMC is not going to be conventional argument that I and you would have. Okay, they have done bad things. After 2016, correct? The things went out of hand. Okay. So for 5 years it was okay. Okay. Even you mentioned, correct, the good roads that were there, correct?
Yeah.
So after 2016 it went out of hand, and as an organization we know that RSS will not change its policy in 1 or 2 years. It takes them at least 3-4 years to actually get the ground support. And yes, 5th August incident actually played a very important role to catalyze that change. That's it from my end.
Okay.
This is why people don't tune into our shows enough. We are not shouting at each other. Okay, we're not banging our fists and shouting at each other. We have to make it Republic TV. So
Yeah.
anyway, so the point I think Bhupen has made, and you as well, I can't disagree with either one. Why did it take them so long? Like he says that Bhupen has said that I don't think they were delusional about how great a person the CM is, or how what are the prospects of this kind of political party, right? I don't think they were delusional. I just think that what he said, that they like to work with the existing power source, right? It's also similar in that sense to somewhat what Ramakrishna Mission also does. Ramakrishna Mission, although, is much more subdued compared to RSS. The RSS is much more. The RSS's thing is that, okay, I will open my Saraswati Shishu Mandir. I will open my the tribal area का जो है वो सब system हम खोलेंगे. The state government will allow this. शाखा खोलेंगे, ये करेंगे. Okay, then we are fine with it. We won't then intervene much. Maybe politically, yes, there might be some BJP might do stuff. वो अलग बात है. That is the typical. That is the facade of what happens. Okay. Because I've heard that, and I've seen with my little acquaintance with some people that, for example, they did work with Aam Aadmi Party on the college school stuff in Delhi. Okay. That thing was Vidya Bharati and all. They were trying to change the syllabus, and you can't, education is a state subject, so sometimes you have to basically do that. You have to deal with the state government, tell them, "हाँ ठीक है, बहुत हो गया communism, अभी हमारा चलेगा." But as a result, it's kind of, see, it's always been trade-offs, right? That's the biggest problem here. You can strike a deal with the devil, but the problem is he's the devil, and I think that is what is catching up. Like, this is the problem with a fundamentally fascist force, not just TMC, any kind of force that is fascist in its nature, where we see two approaches. So in the World War II, when Hitler was taking over land after land, there were the Neville Chamberlain was the Prime Minister of Britain, and he said that, okay, Hitler can take Austria because it's just Germans. Okay, and he said, oh, Hitler can take over this and that, Czechoslovakia, and okay, he's a fine chap. He'll just whatever. And then Hitler took over Poland, and then that's when Churchill was warning them that, see, you can talk to this guy, but he's not a sane chap. He's going to take over entire Europe before you know it. And by the time Churchill took over, there were boots in Paris, like they had taken over Paris and France and everything. So the entire way of life for the European democratic powers at that time was completely threatened by Hitler's boots on the ground, by Hitler's army. Now, that is the biggest fundamental flaw I see with the conflict resolution kind of system that a moderate group has. You see, if you think that you can bargain with people who are fundamentally trying to destroy your way of life, then you can't deal with them after a while. It's just impossible. And if you do, you will lose in the long run. Number one. Number two, was it possible for the Sangh to actually come in, Sangh and BJP to come in and do proper electoral politics in West Bengal? I don't think so. That's where West Bengal is always going to be different from the rest of India, right? And that's why, like the title of Nava Vimarsh's video says, that Bengal is not Gujarat. You can do electoral campaigning and stuff, but it doesn't help. The demography is not on your side. The politics, the institutions, the officers, nobody's on your side. The police, nobody cares about democracy here.
Yeah.
So having said that, that is the biggest issue with a state like West Bengal, where you cannot have the conventional mode of politics, conflict resolution, any kind of activity that you would maybe, let's say, have with Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, or even CPIM in Kerala. Although CPIM in Kerala and RSS have been at loggerheads, like the RSS and CPIM have sometime CPIM much more have killed RSS workers allegedly, and that creates a huge animosity. So I think what happened is there. So here's the thing: the Sangh has the highest number of shakhas in the country in Kerala, right? Here's the very interesting thing, that and yet the BJP is not in power in Kerala. And the Sangh shakhas came at tremendous personal cost for many people.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
a man whose legs were chopped off. Okay,
Yes, yes.
that kind of thing. That is fairly common in the RSS CPM war.
Yeah.
With Mamata, I think they used their brains, and they were like, okay, so if I go head on against CPIM, I am going to get screwed badly.
Yeah.
But Mamata, as far as I remember, Mamata till 2 years ago was saying, maybe even a year ago, she was saying RSS is good, BJP is bad. Modi, Bhagwat is good, Modi is bad, Amit Shah is bad. Okay. So Mamata says this. And honestly, she has had the weirdly Mamata Banerjee. This is why I can't tolerate these kind of Congressy parties. They have no ideological consistency. Okay. So this is like Rajiv Gandhi. पहले शाहबानो कर लिया, फिर राम मंदिर का ताला खोल दिया. Okay. They think that if you appease both sides, you will be loved by everyone. Okay. And you will get votes from every side. Now that doesn't work. In the long run, that doesn't work, which is why the Congress is unable, which is why the CPIM and BJP are always more successful in their whatever little they do compared to Congressy parties. Congressy parties are very kind of like, they're very flimsy in terms of ideology and what they want. But nonetheless, overarchingly, we have seen that because of the organizational power of peacefuls and other so-called minority groups, they are able to influence and because of the global support, they are able to influence these Congressy parties much more compared to the Hindu community. So if I am a neutral observer and I see that, okay, the TMC is saying that, okay, I will allow RSS and sometimes I will allow Hindu Sangoti and all to do some shows here and there, to do some programs. And I will also have deals with Jamati Islami Hind, and I will also have Motua Mahasangho, and I will always also have this, that, whatever. So, यहाँ से 2%, यहाँ से 10%, यहाँ से 15% ले लेंगे vote, और फिर power में आ जाएंगे. Typically, what happens, because of the lack of organizational power among Hindus, we are unable to do what other minority groups are able to achieve. They are much more organized, they are much more vocal, they are much more powerful than us, right? So what happens is, if we equate them in a like a daripalla, if we put them on a balancing scale, we will always lose out, because we are basically moderates. As a community, we are moderates. Okay, unlike other communities. So our vocal minority is not good enough. That's the whole problem, and their entire community is a vocal minority. That's the other problem. On top of that, international support and all that. So I think that whatever the lessons were from Kerala CPIM and all that stuff, they took that and took this to be lesser evil. The same logic that the CPM used to say no vote to BJP, because BJP is the lesser evil compared to TMC. That's what the CPIM said in 2021. The RSS had used the same logic to perhaps support this kind of other party compared to the CPIM. But I think that ultimately what happens is that I think that they misinterpreted what that meant. I don't know if they were just, good people, so they misinterpreted, or they honestly think that, I don't know, whether they care about West Bengal. I don't know. I can't. I have had many negative thoughts myself about this. I've been a critic for the longest time, but I still give them a bit of the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, maybe they just didn't understand. They are like Neville Chamberlain. They did not understand what Hitler is, and that that is creating the issues right now. That is creating problems right now.
No, Neville Chamberlain was one person. An entire organization not understanding a problem and one person not understanding a problem are different things of different magnitudes even. Bhupenda, firstly, do you think RSS would have the same soft corner for Trinamool or this trade-off excuse with Trinamool if Trinamool Congress had if Trinamool Congress's name was All India Trinamool Congress bracket Marxist? Would they still have those understandings?
No. So the correct, see, I will give you one more example. Correct. So I think when you were reading the book, by Savarkar, correct, and by Chanki Bakle, correct. You mentioned that, correct. Like the British intelligence was quite concerned about what RSS is doing. Okay, by putting its people in many places silently, not doing upfront. Right. So they were much more concerned about RSS and Hindu Mahasabha rather than any other organization which are doing it upfront. Okay. In that same way, correct. So once RSS, see, after 1971 specifically, 71 when the Marxists took over the academia and whatever damage they have done, correct. So once that was identified, because again you need to go back. The first RSS Shakha which was created by Hedgewar, one of the persons who actually was the first member of that Shakha, he later became a Marxist. Okay. So RSS would not have any qualms in dealing with anybody. Correct. They will deal with the devil if required, and they are doing it. Okay. Like in 71, 75, they dealt and worked with Marxists. Okay. On for that to be restored. Yeah, emergency 75. So in that way, once TMC was labeled as Marxist, then RSS would not deal with them the way they have dealt with them, because they are perceived as anti-Marxist, anti-communist forces. And now one more data.
Yeah.
As mentioned by AcademicMan, that RSS has the largest amount of shakhas in Kerala, and Kerala is a communist bastion. So you can see the organization's energy is being put in to counter the communist propaganda, the communist ideology in Kerala, but they don't have anything that in any other region. So that shows you calculate. Communism is an enemy which has been marked, and they are going to work to defang it by 1,000 cuts.
Then, so the only reason they didn't consider TMC that big of an enemy, because they did not put the word Marxist in it, and TMC did not do it because they are too uneducated to know that they are Marxist, of course. But is RSS also that uneducated to realize that TMC is not TMC is in fact Marxist?
Yes. See, again, there is a podcast by Neeraj Attri where he did a podcast with Pankaj Saxena. Okay, where they were talking about the 100 years of RSS, its achievements, and whether how much mistakes they have made, what kind of errors they have made, errors of judgment. Okay, in that podcast, Pankaj Saxena says, and Neeraj Attri and Pankaj Saxena have closely worked with RSS to actually train their own cadres. Okay, so Neeraj Attri and Pankaj Saxena have worked with the higher leadership of RSS to actually fine-tune and tell them, this is where you are making a mistake, fix it. If you want, we will help you to do that. Okay. In that way, so I'll give an example of the podcast to actually reinforce your point of view.
Yeah.
One of the RSS pracharaks, or maybe the middle leadership. Okay, the person was going to Ajmer Dargah to do a chadar. Okay. And Neeraj Attri talked to him and said, okay, I am going, that he's saying, I am going to Ajmer Dargah to do a chadar, give a chadar and do what they do. Then Neeraj Attri talked to him, then phone was cut. Then he thought, okay, is this correct? People don't know what that Dargah stands for in terms of the Sufis, what they have did to Hindus. And RSS is a Hindu organization. How an historically illiterate person can be that he goes to Ajmer Dargah and does the chadar thing. Again, he called him back. Okay, I might be hearing wrong things. Again, he called him back to confirm
Yeah.
whether he is going to Dargah and do the chadar thing. He says, yes, I am doing it. So, to reinforce your point, this is how illiterate historically the RSS is. And that is documented. You can watch the podcast.
Then I'm absolutely wondering right now. Then why such an obsession with hating Marxists? What exactly is the disagreement with Marxists even? Because they couldn't realize based on data that Trinamool is Marxist. Their integral humanism we know is Karl Marx would celebrate it more than anyone else. Then what is the problem with Marxism?
I think I have not done that research or study on that, but from my perspective, the kind of violence which was used against RSS people by the Marxists particularly, that is something maybe one part of answer to your question. Ideally, see, even RSS will work with the worst ideology if it's not violent, if it's not something which is going to close 60,000 factories. The problem is that RSS wants a holistic growth of Indian economy, Indian society. When CPM closed 60,000 factories in West Bengal and broke the back of East India, that is something RSS would not tolerate. And it will become its enemy.
And Trinamool is less violent than CPIM or more violent than CPIM?
No, that is trade-off. Correct. Again, because you had CPM which was ruled for 34 years and the kind of damage they have done, and to give some amount of credit, like some amount of leeway to the Sangh and other organizations, for the first 5 years it wasn't that bad. So it was, I think, a very good deception game was played by Mamta as well in that context.
Yeah. Okay. Now my main question that I've been meaning to get to, which is my main grudge with RSS at this point, on just this one topic at least, is that did they get fooled by Trinamool because of every Trinamool leader's obsession with Durga Puja and Kali Puja in their local neighborhoods, no matter how big of a money laundering racket that is? Did they get fooled because of that? Because CPM did not obsess over Durga Puja, Kali Puja?
No. RSS has a good intelligence network of local people, and believe me, you might be like talking to a person who is, you know him for 30 years, and that person might be an RSS worker, and you never known of in 30 years. So no, that would not be the case. They know what TMC has done post 2016. Remember that year. Okay.
No, on this one I would have to disagree with you vehemently, because the people from Trinamool who I'm accusing of fooling RSS by doing a lot of Durga Puja, Kali Puja, etc. A lot of those people were long-time Congress MLAs and MPs as well, and even back then they were obsessed with local Durga Puja, Kali Puja, and even back then they were money laundering scams anyway. So RSS should have known those leaders specifically from 30 years before Trinamool came to power.
Yeah, that can be the case. That in that case you might be right as well. Okay, but see the thing is, like if RSS had a presence in East India, even not in West Bengal, but in Assam and other regions, they had a presence. So they already would have known, that Durga Puja is a kind of a tolabaji. We all know how Durga Puja operates. It's a kind of a yearly hafta, you can say, to businesses and people. So that is already known. So I do not think that just these Congress people become TMC people and they were doing dharmic things for all these things. So RSS would not know the kind of malaise, moral degeneracy which has happened in West Bengal. I don't think that illiterate that would be. There would be some other political reasons for this, but not this reason. That they are dharmic and they are doing it.
Then that's a fair.
Even I am of the same view that it's not that they didn't know. It's that they did not. You see, there are a few things that we haven't spoken about. Number one is what is the TMC's organization run by? Now, if you remember, it is run by a group very different from the CPIM originally. Like, who were the supporters of TMC, who campaigned for TMC? These were extreme left activists. Okay. They are the ones who have given intellectual cover fire. They have given organizational strength at times. Many of their own cadres have become MLAs and ministers under the TMC government. Now, this extreme left category, that is interestingly, I am not saying that they are the RSS is unaware of this and does not still challenge them. It's just these people are a different breed compared to the Bhalokaku Marxists of the CPIM. Okay. These people want to outright destroy the fabric of this country. Okay. Now we must understand that, having said that, I think that what the RSS saw perhaps in the TMC was, it was like, you see, Congress party, if you look at the structure of what Congress used to be like before 1947, Congress was basically a platform. It was like a debate stage where एक side में nationalist थे, एक side में थोड़ा leftist socialist थे.
That's what Congress means.
Yeah, it's a Congress. It's a congregation of baboons, basically.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that I think they thought that this is like a lobby where, matlab, if we can talk enough, we can get in, and those guys are also in. Perhaps there is a bargaining chip we can bring, maybe more shakhas, more schools, and they can do whatever crap they want in some parts. We can do crap in our parts. That kind of stuff, I think that was there. But I think there is a utility of the TMC that we are missing. That is very interesting. We for people might think that okay, TMC का क्या utility हो सकता है? The TMC has completely destroyed the facade of the Bhadralok, if you think about it. The TMC has destroyed the image and the power of the Bhadralok like nobody else. The Bhadralok, the BBKs that we keep talking about on every channel, we have to understand that this group is extremely powerful. Okay. Yeah. And they are in positions of power in academia and arts and culture and even as bureaucrats, right? And Mamata Banerjee has successfully destroyed them completely. In fact, if anything, I give Mamata more credit than BJP for raising Hindu consciousness among people. Matlab that we are Hindus. We had forgotten that for 34, 40, 50 years. Okay. Mamata Banerjee, by doing whatever she does, has actually made us aware that, oh, shit, I'm a Hindu. This can happen to me. What's happening in Bangladesh can happen to me tomorrow. Okay. I will credit her with that. This is an unintentional effect. Perhaps she did not intend that. But Jobio, it's like a B-grade, C-grade movie. You end up laughing at it. But you get a comedy out of it, right? You get something. So it's like that. It's like, I think that Mamata Banerjee has really helped the cause of the BJP and RSS because their primary, opponents were not the TMC or the CPIM. Their primary opponents were the dominant and powerful Bhadralok caste of Bengal. Okay. That I think Mamata has completely put a final coffin in their nail in their coffin. Okay. And now, I think that's
go on.
Utility of Mamata. That's one utility of Mamata Banerjee that we completely overlook. Most of us.
What that she was bad enough to convince people that they need to vote someone else. That was the utility.
Not just vote. You have to understand that the Bhadralok is a joke, right? Like in the last 15 years, BBKs are becoming a joke. They have some power in Calcutta, but they have lost most power in rural Bengal. And not just that, there is a growing discontent against these, the BBKs in different parts of the country as well, right? This, I think, Mamata, I'm not saying that, I mean, the RSS saw this and they were like, she's a great person. I don't think they thought this. But I think they were like, when you remember that dialogue from Godzilla where he said, "Let them fight," right? And they were just sitting and watching when Godzilla and King Kong were fighting. So I think that this was something like that. Like I think that they allowed the Bengali intelligentsia to implode thanks to Mamata Banerjee. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. No, that is one utility I can see from this. Like one positive I can see from this.
Okay. See, I don't think Mamta had anything to do with the BBKs losing their wings and fangs. I think it happened for two different reasons. One is there's just not enough BBKs left in West Bengal. And secondly, BBKs lost their relevance because they kept defending Trinamool. If instead of Trinamool, BJP, RSS, whoever came to power and did the exact same shenanigans, and then BBKs kept defending them, BBKs would lose that power anyway. So it's not like Mamta specifically did it, because I believe Alapan Bandyopadhyay is still more powerful than Mamta Banerjee. And it's Bandyopadhyay again. And he runs the state. So I see no utility here. But again, my question to both of you right now would be, would an experienced RSS man from Bengal today, would he consider the devout Hindus of Trinamool Hindus? Like I was saying last day, all my attackers were devout Hindus. Every day I pass by my attackers' homes, I hear chants of Jai Ma Kali. One of my attackers has a beautiful Ma Kali temple inside their home. One of them is chanting Hare Krishna all day. Arup Biswas has made, I think, crores of donations to Tripura Sundari Mandir in Goria. Are they Hindus according to RSS?
Okay, so yes. Okay, so first of all, you need to differentiate between the lower level RSS Karyakarta and the middle or the higher leadership.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, I gave you that example. The historical intelligence or the kind of things they know about historically about Hinduism itself. Okay, and much more less about the other faith. Okay. So in that context, if it's by training. See, RSS is a status quo force, as mentioned in the chat itself by one of the people who commented. RSS is not going to do anything radical. See, they did not, like in 1975 they did not do anything. Correct. They were actually feeding people, like feeding the family of people who were jailed by the Indira Gandhi. Correct. Like 75 was one of the occasions where they could have actually become much more aggressive in their opposition to the state, and they did not do it. They were doing dharna and satyagraha, doing protest. So now that gives you the bent of mind which RSS has. It is not going to do anything radical. Okay, and that training goes starts from the very early part of when you go and join Sangh. Shakha, that you are going to be the force of you are going to be a constructive force rather than a destructive force. So in that context, if a few TMC people would go and show themselves as a devout Hindus, that guy will be say, okay, very good, I will help you, I will come and help you and do something else. In that case, they will think what kind of politics that guy is doing apart from doing puja. I don't think that guy will have any idea on that. And he will not actually even look at it. The training is like that you are going to play the positive, you are going to be the net positive. Okay. Even if you are dealing with the devil, okay, you need to see what good can come out of that devil itself. That's how the psychology is there.
Would it be fair to say that it's not in fact a positive at all in any way, because the only reason that hypothetical RSS man is considering him to do at least that part to be okay, because he is spending that money or laundering that money through a Hindu religious event. Instead, if he did the same action with the same amount of money, laundered the same amount of money, and built a animal hospital or a rehearsal pad for a band, then he would not get that cooperation with the RSS. So just because it's a temple, RSS has that extra, therefore, respect for him, right?
No. I'll tell you. See, if that person had spent some money, set up a madrasa where they are teaching science, mathematics, computers, that guy still will be helping him. See, that net positive force. If that guy would have sponsored some Muslim kids to go and learn English and learn modern education, that guy still will be helping him.
Okay.
It's not about Hindu and Hindu.
Someone called Nirdhan admin has joined.
Okay,
is he also...
he's mine, but yeah, he will not join. He will not join.
Okay, I'm not supposed to add him to the stage.
No. Don't add it.
Oh, okay.
This is the deep state. Don't add him in the front.
This is Bhupenda's own deep state. This is Bhupen's.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me take you to 3025 AD. And right-wingers of 3025 AD are discussing how we have moved away from dharma, because by then we will be technologically pretty advanced. And they are sitting back and having a juicy conversation about how everyone was so dharmic back in 2025 AD, and discussing that, see, back then India was so dharmic that even in such a relatively more controversial and non-dharmic state like West Bengal, what did the people, the leaders, the kings fight over? Who can build the biggest Hindu temples and pandals? And you see, therefore, we have moved away from dharma so much. Back then, people were so dharmic. How much does building temples and sponsoring Durga Puja and Kali Puja absolve people of being fucking assholes?
AcademicMan, you go first.
Okay.
This सवाल थोड़ा personal था.
I have skin in the game. I have skin, bones, and tendons in the game now, so everything is personal.
I think that this mentality is largely reflective of majority of the Hindu community. Okay.
Yes.
Where Hindus are basically fooled. Most Hindus are, they fall for this thing. Here's where the utility of a party like Hindu Mahasabha comes. Where the Hindu Mahasabha's actual vision was quite different. It was like a much more aggressive version of the BJP we see right now. Okay, abhi ye BJP ko log aggressive bolte hai, to Hindu Mahasabha was this on steroids basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that I think Bhupen's point is very important here, that the Sangh is basically a reflection of the Hindu community. It is very difficult, which is why Hindu Mahasabha also never became really mainstream. Like, if you think about it, like Hindu Mahasabha also had to align tactically with the Congress in order to win elections from time to time. Matlab, ek time pe Hindu Mahasabha was basically the vocal minority we keep talking about. They used to shout and Congress got the votes. They shouted कि Congress को vote डालो, Muslim League को मत दो, इसको मत दो, Communist को मत दो, Congress को डालो, because we need to survive. We need to get the partition and get a Hindu homeland. That kind of stuff Hindu Mahasabha did, but Hindu Mahasabha never became the dominant force in this, dominant political force. It was like Anushilan Samiti 2.2, kind of like that. Okay. But that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem, I think, that plagues most Hindus in the entire country, is that we have little sense of history, and we have little Shatrubodh and we have little Swayambodh. Okay. We need, like, we had to wait for 70-80 years to watch a movie like Kashmir Files. Abhi Bengal Files, a lot of Hindus are protesting against Bengal Files. Right?
Yeah.
And what did I tell you? Bengal Files is still more legitimate compared to Kashmir Files, because there has been a lot of writing by the left on Bengal partition, right? That is the only reason that some even top English YouTubers are saying ki हाँ ये film ठीक ठाक है, थोड़ा ये खराब है वो खराब है, but overall it's a good movie and stuff, and it does not do propaganda. But ये बनाने में it took us 70-80 years to get a Bengal Files. So this is also, I think, RSS also reflects the general lacuna of the Hindu community, and I think that the incremental changes they are trying to make is also very characteristic of Gandhian non-violence. Abhi, you can't fault them entirely for that because the BJP's मतलब जो बीजेपी का जो वो है the main founding document of the BJP lists their ideology is Gandhian socialism.
Yes. Yeah.
Gandhian secularism, Gandhian socialism
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, a general problem with us as a community that we aren't really a community. We are becoming a community slowly because we are being attacked on every side, like the Jews. The Jews were highly, they were spread all over Europe. They weren't really in one place and stuff. When the Holocaust happened, they realized that, oh, this can happen to us anytime. So they built their own country and came together. But before that, more than 6 million Jews had to die to get that thing, right? So that's the bigger issue, that because we keep forgetting the. Okay, let me give you. I'll complete this sentence and I'll give you guys one case study. Okay. So we keep forgetting our Holocaust, so we keep forgetting Shatrubodh. Okay. I'll tell you what happened right after partition. The refugee colonies in Bengal, they were overwhelmingly supporters of Hindu Mahasabha. Okay. This is, I know that Neerajan knows this man, Megademic, whom you call, right?
Yeah.
So Megademic told me these stories that, and he's a great scholar, by the way. I wish he could come on the show, but he won't because he has, whatever. He can't, he doesn't get support from anyone. So anyway, he's a great scholar. He told me that overwhelmingly, the Hindu Mahasabha's primary support base used to be these refugee areas, and before that it was in Borishal and Bangladesh. Okay, now present day Bangladesh, right? So Hindu Mahasabha was basically a Bengali party. If you think about it, it had two primary branches, one in Maharashtra because of Savarkar and one in Bengal because of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. The day Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was murdered, because I know he was murdered, he didn't die of natural causes. When Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was murdered, they held fast for two days or something. Okay. In because they were flabbergasted by the death of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. So what happened is that the refugees, despite being overwhelmingly Hindu Mahasabha supporters and all, the Hindu Mahasabha's priorities were not so aligned with their struggle, the refugee struggle. The Communist Party entered because of that. The Hindu Mahasabha was debating whether it should become secular. I also think that this one had a point, like Shyama Prasad Mukherjee had a point. He said, ki abhi to ho gaya hai, partition वगैरह सब हो गया है. So let's get in some Muslims and Christians as placeholders, जो BJP अभी करती है. Like get a Shahnawaz Hussain, get a Shehzad Poonawala, and मतलब बाद में वो they will be useful for us.
Yeah.
So the Hindu Mahasabha said that no, we can't do that. But Shyama Prasad therefore founded the Jan Sangh. He got out of Hindu Mahasabha and founded Jan Sangh. Okay. On top of that, because of Gandhi's वो जो Gandhi का दो accusation था, that also allowed the Congress to ban Hindu Mahasabha at a very crucial period. Okay. So these factors coming together, the refugee population of Bengal actually came closer to the communists, who said that because they are poor, we will give them land. So tabhi tumhara main, the refugee category, they were so poor, they were like basically, let's just go for the CPIM now. Okay. That's how the Hindu Mahasabha voters became communist voters. Because people were so freaking poor, and because after Gandhi's death and all these, these discussions, the Hindu Mahasabha basically became irrelevant, right? Mostly in all of India, the Hindu Mahasabha's base was destroyed, and then Deen Dayal Upadhyay was also killed off in a very strange way.
Yeah.
So a lot of the top leaders of the so-called Hindu parties, except people like Golwalkar and all, most people were murdered or they were sidelined very, very cleverly. Through, you know how. Anyway, so the Hindu Mahasabha lost its primary voter base to the Communist Party. And the Communist
Yeah.
Party said, Ki, refugee, we are the gods of the refugees. And then they
Yeah.
did Morijjap in 1979, where they brought the same
Yeah.
refugees, the Dalit refugees, and then whatever they unalived the Dalit refugees, right?
Yes.
Using state power.
Yeah.
Now, this is the problem. The problem is that when we had some kind of vocal group for us, we ended up destroying the same group by voting for bloody Congress. And this is the same Congress that the Hindu Mahasabha had campaigned for in 1946. In order to show that Hindus are united, they said that, bhai, if we divide the votes of the Hindus between Hindu Mahasabha and Congress, then the Muslim League wins. Right? We have to unite for the sake of the Hindu community. And then they told the Hindu voters, the people who were on their side due to, Calcutta killings and all, they said that, bhai, tu abhi Congress ko vote dal. Now is the time for breaking Bengal into two and getting Hindus a homeland. Right? So Hindu Mahasabha is the ultimate. There is this story of the Dodichi Muni, right? Dodichi Muni is the Muni who sacrificed himself so that Indra's lightning could be created and he could destroy the Asura who was plaguing them. So Hindu Mahasabha has been that. But the problem is that we did not reward them for their sacrifices. We forgot them completely as a group, as a community. And this is the problem with us as a community as well, I think. And RSS is the representation of that problem that plagues us.
Bhupenda, I'll come to you with another question on RSS again, because you are our resident RSS defender. But I will just take one small digression because AcademicMan pointed out something interesting. I'll just take one small digression. I have a question for you, AcademicMan. Then there are countless Bengali right-wing Twitter handles and stuff these days who have made an enemy out of Bangals for some reason. Not for some reason, it's because they have been CPIM voters for all these decades. So again, clarify and harp on this point once more. Why it's not a justified criticism of the Bangals. The dirt fucking poor Bangals who lost their homes, whatever they had. I'm not talking about the Jamidar Bhitemati Bangals. They were supposed to analyze political science more and vote for the parties that are beneficial today, you see. And my second question is, you are saying that the Hindu Mahasabha voters turned into CPIM, and we know Pramod Das Gupta's contributions to this as well. At this very juncture, where was RSS?
The RSS was RSS was also banned for a few years at that time. Like I'm talking about the right after Gandhi's assassination for 840.
Right.
So RSS, Hindu Mahasabha, all of these were banned and they were like really disbanded and they basically that's the problem. They have PTSD right now. Like if today you have a bit of PTSD because whatever. So the same thing that they also have a lot of PTSD from the time that they were screwed badly. Okay. So they think that acha bhai chota incremental reform karke bachenge. And this is the problem. Like if you have so much PTSD of getting banned and killed and this and that, and then you suddenly get power in 2014, then you kind of, I don't know whether they've been able to come out of it yet. Okay. Now,
no, actually, Sitaram Goel's criticism of the RSS and especially Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the exact same thing, that this guy, windbag is going on screwing with my career, but I guess he has PTSD of getting banned, so he wants to cozy up with Nehru and stuff.
Yeah. It's also, you gotta also see where the trade-offs. We love Thomas Sowell. So it's a trade-off. Like you have to come to power. You have to No. If you have to come to power, you have to live. You have to be alive. If you get killed like Deen Dayal Upadhyay, if you get put in jail like Savarkar, what's even the point?
Yeah.
Today we are admiring Savarkar, and that too, Hindus are such a community. I was going to abuse. I'm sorry, I can't abuse. एक सावरकर के ऊपर फिल्म हिट नहीं करवा पाए. ठीक है. Forget if Modi didn't want it. वो अलग बात है. Okay. Modi is a politician. I can forgive that aspect. I can't actually, but still, I'll have to force myself to do it. But Hindus could bloody give a 50 crore fund to this guy, Randipuda for a Savarkar movie. Guy who spent his entire life fighting for the rights of Hindus, right? So, having said that, that is the problem. Like, you have to be a Atal Bihari Vajpayee to be able to come to power. You have to be a Congress in the BJP to come to power, essentially.
Yeah.
And once that's why if Atal taught us to walk, then Modi taught us to run. It's kind of like that. Like, tab stage nahi tha. Having said all this, here I'll answer your other question, like the Bangal question.
Yeah.
It's that your community, despite having a great number of Hindu leaders as well, Hindutva leaders, many of whom who died during the partition, the problem with the Bangal community has been the people like Jyoti Basu, who voted for partition, okay,
Yeah.
who voted, sat with Shama Prasad Mukherjee and said that Hindu homeland chai, and he voted for partition, and then he writes in Jotodur Mone Pore, his biography, that we never voted for partition. Okay.
Yeah.
Where Buddhadev Bhattacharya says that madrasas produce terrorists, and then the second day he is made to apologize by the party ranks, which is completely full of Bangals, like Anil Bishwash, this one, Jyoti Basu, all these people. Okay, mostly Nirupam Sen, all these people. Right. So so what happens is the vocal minority that's again determining the fate of a large group of people. And this vocal minority is a bloody hypocritical minority. They say they love refugees and they kill refugees. They say Ratanlal Brahman and Jyoti Basu vote for partition, and then they come out and say, "Oh, we didn't care about partition. That's Shama Prasad Mukherjee did it." Right. So that kind of crap is the reason that there is a perception that Bangals, and also Jadavpur University and all don't really help. Like Jadavpur University ka BBKs, they come out and say Kashmir Mange Azadi. So that does not help the cause.
So CPIM is fully Bangal, Jadavpur is fully Bangal. So where have all the ghotis gone? As Jennifer Lopez once asked.
The ghotis, if you think about it, interestingly, this is the interesting part. The ghotis, the bigger caste, I'm not talking about the Dalits, okay? The Dalits who came from that side and this side, they were marginalized either way, okay? So Navashudros, they were just too busy just trying to get food. They weren't that powerful. The Rajbongshis who did stay here in North Bengal has been perpetually ignored by every party. So even they are basically poorer compared to the rest of the people. If you look at the other major caste groups in Bengal, the Mahishos and all, they are essentially non-political. The Mahishos' last producer leader, I think Biren Shashwal or somebody, they did not have big leaders, right? So Ghoti people have been even Mamata Banerjee is the Bangal. If you think about it, most top leadership of West Bengal has been Bangals in the last.
Why is that happening?
Years.
Sociologically speaking,
vocal minority, bhai, vocal minority. They can shout their lungs out because they didn't have. You see what happens. The Ghotis were essentially mostly, if they were powerful, they were absentee landlords, or they were basically like they were doing business, or they were doing feudalism, like they were sitting around waiting for rice to grow and whatnot. So this kind of activity made them politically irrelevant. Whereas if you look at people like there are some Ghoti leaders in the CPIM as well, very notable people. But the CPIM in itself was a very vocal minority always. Whereas after the death of Bidhan Chandra Rai, if you look at the way the party was, Bidhan Chandra Rai was the last great, I think Siddhartha Shankar Rai was the last great Ghoti leader, if you can think of it that way. Now look at the characteristic of Siddhartha Shankar Rai and this one, Bidhan Chandra Rai. Siddhartha Shankar Rai was a barrister. Bidhan Chandra Rai was a doctor by profession. None of them were full-time politicians. Jyoti Babu is a full-time politician. Okay. Nirupam Sen, full-time politician. Anil Bishwash, full-time politician. Hare Krishna Kunar, full-time politician. So the Communist Party actually, if you look at Weber's thing between politics as a vocation and politics as a calling, essentially. So what happens is Weber is saying that there are two types of people who earn from politics. You can be, let's say you're a teacher, but you are contesting a Lok Sabha election, like Dev. Dev is an actor, he is contesting Lok Sabha election, he's earning from politics. But Amit Shah is a full-time politician, Mamata Banerjee is a full-time politician.
Yeah.
Yes, Shubhendu Adhikari is a full-time politician, right? So a full-time politician will have more skin in the game than a doctor or a lawyer or a businessman or a this or a that. So that's the other issue. Like, I believe they want the activists that the CPIM had. The CPIM's activists are full-timers. They are whole-timers. वो लोग, they even take a dump in the morning, even then they're thinking about how to do class struggle and all that stuff, right? So that is the difference between part-timers and full-timers. You have to see it also from the organizational aspect. So in that sense.
So Ghoti incompetency is not supposed to be criticized. Bangal competency in ushering in communism is the main problem then.
तुम लोग भाई vocal minority हो गए हो, तुम्हारा problem है, हमारा problem
Yeah,
नहीं
because
है.
because there was
problem is
nothing
none of our problem.
Yeah, because there was nothing more to lose, so all of them became party workers only. They didn't have absentee, they didn't have landlord, so therefore they had to be just party workers. Okay, let's get back to the topic then. So Bhupenda, what fascinating thing has now happened that has made RSS realize that no, in fact, this person is a problem and this party is a problem?
5th August. 5th August. 5th August is something which people actually do not give enough credit for. A lot of things. See, 5th August is the like primary reason why the CAA date has been extended till 10 years to 2024 December. CAA is the reason. 5th August is the reason why you have, as mentioned by Sean Moida, about the SIR and other things which are happening. Including the law. 5th August, the Sheikh Hasina fall. 5th August.
Just
5th August, you forgot.
2024.
5th August is a very important event which has happened and which created a kind of a catalyst domino effect, which we are seeing now after 1 year.
But
in
wasn't
my
that
opinion,
bound to happen anyway?
No, nobody knows about it. See, I have read the book of Deep Haldar where he mentions 2001 was the worst kind of violence which was done on Hindus of Bangladesh after 71, correct? And how many people know about it? You and I know because fortunately we are doing podcasts. How many people know about it? Nobody knows. No. Exactly. So 2001, the violence which was perpetrated on the Hindus of Bangladesh, nobody knew about it. Fortunately, we know because we have read his book and we have talked to him. So same way, whatever was happening in Bangladesh, and because at strategic level there was a kind of a back and forth going on between Sheikh Hasina and Modi government, okay, in terms of other geopolitics. Okay. Yeah. So why you think this action was not taken when she was in power? Maybe crores of people have come from here, from Bangladesh and from Bengal border, and nothing was done about it. Correct. So because there is a larger geopolitics which is going on, okay, and generally you and I will be the victim of that politics. Okay. So in that context, it has happened. So what will happen? Correct. Again, the 5th August thing is very important, which people have to remember. And all the things, the Foreigners Act, which has been now passed, now that they have become an authority, is very important that listen. Now the Foreigners Act is an authority; they can go without anybody's approval and search and arrest people, like get hold of people. They are like ICE in what you have in USA. USA. Yes, so that is the kind of thing that has happened, and that is because that it has opened the Pandora's box. If there is a government report, there are about 3 crore or 2.5 crore people of Bangladeshi origin who are living inside India, and that is prior. And that report was published maybe 5 years ago or 6 years ago. So government knew about this illegal immigration into 2014 onwards, and there is a government data available here, but nothing was done about it because of a lot of things are happening which we don't know. But 5th August is
Now,
something which has created it.
I think there's a fear of it being repeated in Bengal and India, more importantly. Matlab, if you did the farmers' protest successfully and you did the student protest in see, these are all test cases, right? Like you did the Imran Khan thing in Pakistan, you did the Hasina thing in Bangladesh, and then you're like, okay, so we have at least 2 crore highly motivated individuals living inside India, within the heartlands of India, where most Hindus reside and Hindus don't have guns or any kind of organization to defend themselves. There we can easily replicate a lot of this stuff that we did in Bangladesh and Pakistan, right? So I think that aspect, that whole factor has played in, has a big role. And I agree with Bhupen that, this is a big factor. Because right after that, you see the textbook change happened. The Foreigners Act got this thing updated. The IB
CA date extended.
Got extended. SIR is happening in Bihar and West Bengal, where there has been massive demographic change. Even Jharkhand maybe hoga kuch din baad. Maybe that's what I'm guessing. Like Jharkhand, Bihar, Bengal, these are the highly.
No, it will happen all over India.
Yeah, it will eventually happen all over India. Then what's going to happen is all of these things. There's going to be a census in 2027. Okay. And there is going to be there are supposed to be delimitation exercises in 2026. So you can very well imagine that this is the next 5 years before 2020, 2030 are very crucial for every political party, right? And right now, the last thing you need is some other kind of actors going in your borders and doing whatever the hell they want, right? So I think that is why they have either woken up or they were ready to wake up. They just need the coffee, whatever is the case that has happened.
Bhupendra, again, I'll come back to you. I'll just make one small libertarian segue in this, which is I see a lot of misuse of that new Foreigners Act also happening because, again, almost skin in the game. I have a friend who's dating a German girl right now, very close friend. Now, she came to simply visit India at one point, and my friend met her. They fell in love, and then he convinced her to study here only. So she did another set of master's graduation here only. And now she sometimes returns to Germany and sometimes stays here.
Bangali.
Yes.
Achha.
Adam BBK. My I'm very BBK.
Only BBKs can do Aryan invasion theory in a. Anyway.
So now, whenever her visa time that criteria runs out, they leave, go for a tour in some foreign country, and then they come back again. Now, the problem is, since our law enforcers are such honest, honorable men, he gets harassed all the fucking time because of his white girlfriend anyway. So his card will get stopped every time because they just on that very day they become hard enforcers of law who decide that this guy is trafficking white women. He gets stopped on random traffic signals all the time. Now imagine how much more harassment he and his girlfriend is going to face. Okay, now my question to you is, what do you think this change of heart of RSS will entail? What are going to be the implications of this?
Okay, this is to me?
Yeah. To me, defender.
So, okay, what is going to mean is that we have seen some precursors, correct? Like we had a very successful Ram Navami processions in West Bengal. Correct. While 1 crore people would have participated. Correct. And you are going to see a lot of ground level work happening after probably SIR. Once the SIR is completed, there will be a lot of ground level work. I think if you know that Marathi political analyst, I forgot his name. So normally,
Bhav Torsekar.
Bhav Torsekar. So you can read his book. I think you will get a bit of understanding how RSS actually works and how BJP works politically. Okay. So what will happen in general is that the shakhas are going to be utilized, and there is going to be like a kind of a door-to-door campaign which will happen. A silent door-to-door campaign will be happening utilizing shakhas, and there will be a lot of small meetings will be happening to actually mobilize and specifically, correct, you are now talking about 1 crore Motua voters being eligible to vote if they get the citizenship prior to election. Okay, so that is going to play an important role. So the Motua voters I think we forgot. I think that information is very, very important. I think that is talked about a lot of writing channels in Bengali, in West Bengal, that there are about 1 crore, maybe more than 1 crore actually. They are eligible to vote, and they are primarily going to vote for BJP. That includes Mohishos, Rajbangshis, and Motuas. So that is going to play a very important role, where RSS shakhas are going to play a very important part to mobilize those voters who would be getting the citizenship as per the new amendment that they will be having. So that is the one aspect, and second would be small meetings and like the way they did in Bihar, in Delhi actually, in Delhi and Haryana, the same model, probably a little bit different, but same model will be applied, where some person would come and talk to you. Okay, why you are not voting for BJP? That person might ask. Okay, BJP has done this. So that will happen. So that is going to be the primary on-ground campaign which will happen.
Okay. Bhupendra, I'll ask you only the question, but so that I don't forget the question, I'll just tell Academic Man the question beforehand only. After Bhupendra, I'll ask this question to Academic Man, which is that is there even a consensus between Motuas about who to vote for? Because a lot of them seem to be cozying up to Trinamool every now and then. Okay. First, my question to Bhupendra is, how many shakhas are there right now of RSS, and is there any way to are they going to be able to increase their numbers or increase the number of shakhas right now, and what would be their strength in places like South Kolkata and stuff, or are they banking completely on village campaigns, village and towns?
Okay, so first of all, I would not have the data, because that data is they would not publish it. Okay. So there would be more shakhas than actually they would be publishing it, because a lot of shakhas are actually unofficial houses and buildings and other things. But what I can say to you is that there has been significant increase in the number of shakhas in this last 2-3 years, and a lot of people are going to be coming into West Bengal from outside West Bengal. So the number of Swayamsevaks that you will have right now, and probably double. They would double, because people will be coming into West Bengal from a lot of other places to actually do that work. So do not count the number of shakhas or the people who are already there. There will be people coming in from outside as well who would be doing that work.
Right. And
to organize things and all those things.
Will we get to see them campaigning in places like South Kolkata or North Kolkata?
No, nothing. You will not see you will see it's kind of a man-to-man marking if you are watching football.
I see.
It's going to be a man-to-man marking. It will happen the way they normally operate. Okay, the same way operate in Maharashtra, the same they did in actually Haryana, and the same is going to happen in Bihar also.
जोर से बोल के सबको स्कीम बता दे.
No, we hide in plain sight. Who is going to watch a 3-hour podcast and pause at 1 hour 28 minutes to find out this information anyway? But although I think some people are definitely watching now just to see where we screw up. So Academic Man, is there a consensus among Motuas about voting for BJP?
This time there will be. You have to see.
Did you see what happened even like 2-3 weeks back?
When
BJP was discussing distributing Hindu cards and stuff, they got pissed off. No, we are not Hindus, bro. So then.
Listen. So again, this is the problem with having 1.4 crore people. There will be, even if there are 1 million idiots, you will see them and think that okay, the rest of 1.4 billion are idiots. Okay.
Even the matriarch was was I think re-cozying up to Trinamool, right? During that incident and saying that
No,
see, they are trying to
don't take
radicalize
any of
Hindus.
these people. Don't take any of these people seriously at all. I'll tell you why.
Achha.
I know more ground level people in that community than the TV journalists and all know. Okay, and I can tell you this much. And Megademic actually is an expert on that. So anyway,
Yeah. Of course.
so
Yeah.
in that sense, I know that they are definitely more aligned to the BJP and Sangh right now than they ever were, because in this last few months, what has happened is the Hasina thing has really had an impact among most of them. Okay, even among the people who are in the TMC, they are actually saying that this was a problem. What happened to Hasina? Okay, so this is certainly, and because you'll have to understand, the majority of Hindus still living in Bangladesh belong to the Motua community. Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of the people we see in West Bengal, they have relatives and extended family living in Bangladesh
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they are attacked, which has increased, they are getting, and thanks to the internet, they can get all the information these days, right? So they are very pissed off after August 5th. Now, if you see a few guys, obviously what the media does is so look at how the media reports stuff, right? Like they gave a very stupid article like Bengal Files has less footfall than badass Ravi Kumar on the first day. Obviously, it's like saying Satyajit Ray's film flopped compared to Salman Khan's film. You can't even compare these two movies, right? You can't like, this is how the media reports. And I have a lingering feeling seeing some channels like the Open Letter and the Print and all recently, that they have suddenly changed their tone to attack the Sangh and the BJP and Hindu community. Okay. So I think that there has been recent cash flow in India from and that is impacting the media coverage in the country. Okay. Even the media who are relatively, kind of playing it neutral, sometimes thoda right, thoda left kar dete hai, those kind of media houses are also turning into kind of anti-Hindu cesspools. Okay. So I think that's that's the big problem here. But if don't go by that, don't go by that. Okay. I think that what we discussed in our last live stream, that there are the social media game in West Bengal is of a different level entirely. That is certainly working, and I can tell you that among the Mutuas and other groups in West Bengal, the information that is coming from Bangladesh, the movies like look at Bengal Files, right? Now it has the Streisand effect. Now everyone wants to watch it, right? So it's like that. People are actually saying, like on TV, they are saying, like when they were interviewed, they're saying, why ban it? Let's watch it and criticize it, right? So a lot of this thing, a lot of people in West Bengal are actually now almost ready for change. Okay. And so the media narrative may not necessarily have that much impact, and don't go by what the media says about the Motua community, because the Motua community is solidly behind the BJP this time. Solidly. That is another reason for the 2024 thing, and the Hasina Ek Hasina thi, that has also helped them a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Polymerist is asking, what last names do Motuas usually have? That's a little tricky.
Mondol, Dolui, all kinds of Dalit names. But a very interesting thing is Thakur is there. See, surname, don't go by surnames all the time, because Bishash, a lot of surnames. But Bishash can be from many castes. So I've even heard of Brahmins being Bishash sometimes.
Yeah.
So
his main question is that can he know that this person in front of him is Motua by his name or not?
Can't be Chatterjee, Banerjee, Mukherjee, Ganguly, Sengupta, Dasgupta, Roy. ना Roy भी थोड़ा बहुत मिल सकता है. Roy Chaudhuri, these kind of surnames you won't get. So anyway.
Okay, so non-BBK surname.
Non-BBK surname.
Yeah. Ash Ketchum is saying, I thought it was Katuas, not Motuas.
Bardhaman Katwa.
Yeah, Katwa as well. Okay, let's take some audience questions now. Okay, we have kind of settled the debate. So, congratulate Bhupenda and his Bhupen state for convincing us, for brainwashing us into believing that RSS is heading us towards good things. So Dipan Dasgupta is asking, do we need another Tapan Ghosh? Do we miss a Tapan Ghosh?
नहीं, RSS is great and all, but जो भी करेंगे एकेडमिया को नहीं पकड़ेंगे. हाँ, कुछ भी कर लेंगे साला एकेडमिया को नहीं पकड़ेंगे हम लोग.
नहीं पकड़ेंगे. Like you will see some change. Okay, but not even like थोड़े time लगेगा, but you will see some change.
Isn't RSS?
I can tell you that.
Isn't RSS's main deal with BJP that they want academia and BJP can handle everything else, infrastructure and stuff?
Yes, that's the whole. My stick with them is that. My stick with them is not organization and intention and all that stuff. My stick with them is, भाई तुम आज तक क्या किया हो academia में? Okay, now hopefully they may have woken up after God knows how long. But that is what I expect. Ki RSS, I don't expect RSS to contest elections and stuff like that. But that's the whole point. Like RSS should have worked on institutional capture, and they are still not even close to success in that one area. So that is my one.
Okay, actually, I have one thing to say. That is like at the fundamental level. So fundamental level, as AcademicMan mentioned, that RSS and BJP is a reflection of the Hindu consciousness, okay, or the Hindu thinking or perspective. So, in my opinion, okay, the behavior of RSS and BJP is a kind of a mirror reflection of the confusion, Shatrubodh and Swayambodh, which is not, see, RSS and others can be much more aggressive, or BJP can be much more aggressive. The problem is that the Hindu consciousness is still not solidified enough to actually justify those aggressive steps, which even they cannot do this.
Yeah, true. Because the people asking for fast changes and non-incremental changes are still a minority inside the BJP voter base anyway. Till today, majority don't vote for Hindutva; they vote for freebies only. Before we take,
they vote for toilets.
Yeah, before we take Dipan Dasgupta's comment, I have one other question for Bhupenda that I had planned even before the live stream, which is I had this is a sort of a curiosity-based question, that what exactly is the kind of understanding between RSS and BJP? Is there clear demarcation that BJP will do this, RSS will do this, or on these topics BJP will have final say and on these topics RSS will have final say, or is it more of a vibe thing that, okay, on this I trust you to have a good decision and on this I trust you to have the right decision? Is it ambiguous like that?
It is ambiguous, okay, because every Sangh affiliate, okay, is technically independent from the mother organization, including BJP. Okay, there is a mechanism. There's a mechanism of feedback. So, example would be correct. 5th August happened. So there would be a feedback given to the leadership, the political leadership, that listen, this has happened. Okay, you need to make sure that you do some things to actually rectify this specific event. Okay, and that was given, I think that was given to the political leadership, and now you see the Foreigners Act being incorporated, CA date being extended. If you remember, there was a statement from Satsang Chalak Mohan Bhagwat that the government of India is going to do like whatever can be done to actually help the Hindus of Bangladesh. There was a public statement was there from RSS. There was a press conference happened. There was a press conference done by RSS to actually address this specific issue of 5th August event and violence against Hindus of Bangladesh. That is a very rare event which happened, where RSS will not do a press conference every other day, but they did. When they did that press conference on the 5th August issue, I knew that lot of changes are about to happen in terms of optics. So
And,
there is a feedback
go on.
mechanism. So there's a feedback mechanism. So time to time there would be, and there are a couple of political members within the BJP, okay, who would be actually doing this coordination. So there is a constant communication happening between the political leadership and the RSS leadership in terms of what's going on, how to do all those things, and it will go on, and then you will see some changes happening the way it happened. But in almost 95%, the political party is independent to do whatever they want. 5% is reserved for a first principle things.
Achha. And why did Mohan Bhagwat spend 10 days in West Bengal recently? What was he up to?
That's what. Yeah, that was 5th August fallout. That was the fallout of 5th August. So when you know, correct, when I tell you that there are going to be a lot of things are happening, okay, in terms of new shakhas being opened, and see, as an organization, they can focus on only like one thing at a time. So they had to actually plan a lot of things within a year, so that when the election comes, they will be able to actually make an impact. So that cannot happen. That okay, the election will take place at this date. So they have to plan everything like 1 year, 1.5 years it will take for them to actually get everything done, so that they will be able to actually make an impact.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Diban Das Gupta is asking, do we need another Tapan Ghosh? Do we miss a Tapan Ghosh? What is the current status of Hindu Samhati?
Can I just interject? There's a debate going on 2 minutes back in the comments regarding academic.
Oh, wait, we'll come to that. Yeah, I know. I'm going to trigger you. আমি একা কেন ট্রিগার হবো বাড়া, তোমার উপর আসবে ওটা। তো আমরা chronology সামঝিয়ে একদম ওই অর্ডারে যাব। তো
আচ্ছা, do we need another Tapan Ghosh? Do we miss a Tapan Ghosh? What is very difficult to answer. I'll tell you why. Because when Tapan Ghosh was alive, I admired him a lot. I also saw what he used to do. He used to actually give a lot of rallying points to Hindus in difficult areas, right? So Tapan Ghosh is a great leader. There is no doubt about it. But the one problem
Wait. Just so that everyone knows about this, Tapan Ghosh was actually so far ahead of his time and intelligent about how to go about, how to actually be impactful about this, that he fucking went to the British Parliament and talked about Hindu atrocities in West Bengal, sat down with Tommy Robinson before...
Tommy Robinson, yeah.
He sat down and did a podcast with Tommy Robinson in 2016 or 17 before anybody knew who Tommy Robinson was. You can check it out even today on YouTube. Tommy Robinson interviewing Tapan Ghosh. Okay,
yeah. So Tapan Ghosh was actually a great guy. I have nothing against it, but he used to say one thing that I used to get angry with, but I don't know, like I can't totally see the problem with that anymore. He used to say that if in West Bengal the BJP is not serious and the Sangh is not serious, then we have to take over the TMC and make it Hindu. We have to make the Gundas. One point he used to say कि गुंडा से लेके सब कुछ हिंदू होना पड़ेगा. Like every person in a position of power has to be a Hindu. He used to say that. Okay. Now, honestly, for that, this is the problem with us dealing with the devil of any form, is that imagine if you think that I will be today friends with a rabid dog, okay, and and the dog will be nice and very, very good to me, then that's the bigger problem. You can't love a rabid dog, right? I know you're a dog lover. You know what context I mean this in. Like a mad dog will bite you too.
Now, to play Tapan Ghosh's advocate here, wasn't he just simply drawing from what he saw in the Muslim community? He was just trying to extrapolate that onto Hindu community. He was just drawing from the Muslim community, right? That's how they
No,
operate. That everyone has to be Muslim.
that's the
Gundas
whole
or not.
point. I admired the Muslims for their organization and how they do things. They are completely, they have no shame in what they do. Okay, they are conservatives and they say, I'm conservative. Who gives a damn? I don't give a damn what some bloody academic on TV says about me. And they actually have that. The problem with us is we look for validation from abroad and some academic or this or that. We have so many problems. We seek validation. They don't give a damn about it. Their only
but
validation
right now,
comes from the model.
But
Right.
at this point, Tapan Ghosh would say that since it works for them, why shouldn't it work for us? Therefore, that wild animal theory doesn't work because it's working out fine for Muslims.
He wanted us to become like them. And I don't have a problem with that strategy. But the problem of his strategy was he thought that the TMC can be bargained with. That was his problem. That is the aspect that I always did not agree. It's not like I ever spoke to, I never saw him. He died before before we even grew up per se. But what I'm saying is that Tapan Babu, one problem he had was he thought that he could reason with the TMC and establish a pro-Hindu wing of TMC or something. वो नहीं होगा, वो कभी नहीं होता. Because of the demography. Now it could still work if the peaceful community was less than 10%, maybe that could have worked. But that will not work with 30-35% and all. It won't work with that. That's the issue.
I think another blind spot of the late great Tapan Ghosh on this issue would be that even if he did end up having a great Hindutva wing of Trinamool, that Hindutva wing would entail things like Jagannath Dham only. So
Yeah.
Be of anything fun things.
Yeah. Tapan Ghosh was the fighter. Tapan Ghosh knew his stuff. Almost except that one aspect, I think he was perfect. He was a great leader. There's no doubt about it.
Abhay is asking, what do you think about Mohan Bhagwat's statement on desert homies? We'll skip this for now because of the stuff I'm dealing with. Okay, let's trigger then, Academic Man. Wait. No, first let's cajole him a little. How do we change the landscape of Indian academia? We need non-communist sociologists and historians. How do we do this, Academic Man? And then we will trigger you.
I think that this is to be done with quality and not quantity. That's the problem with the Sangh and the BJP. They think that they have a lot of MA pass people and PhD kiya hua people from Nirma University and whatnot, and Guru Jambeshwari. I'm sorry if you're from those universities. I'm sorry, but it's just they don't. Guru Jambeshwari is not the same.
Is there something actually called Nirma University?
Yes, there is.
Oh, I thought it's a joke. You made it up like East Georgia University and stuff.
No,
shit.
Lovely Professional University. You can have a PhD from Lovely Professional University or Nirma University or Guru Jambeshwar University, but it won't be the same as even JNU or IIT Delhi or all these big shot universities, right? You can abuse those other universities, but fact of the matter is elite universities are elite universities for a reason, because the students they have are from the elite class. That's the reality. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is why but again, here, this is the fun thing. When the BJP actually captured Delhi University, more or less, in terms of, captured Delhi University in the sense, they put a lot of people in. Okay.
Yeah.
What happened is that they forgot that people now have money, right? So the people in richer families, like upper class people, they started sending their kids to Shivnadar University. This one, that Ashoka University, some other Kriya University, right? Yeah. So the rich and power, you see, you have to understand that the movements are always done by a minority of elites. Even the French Revolution was done by a group of elites. It wasn't done by poor French people in the road. Even the Meiji Restoration was done by the lower ranks of the samurai. They weren't done by poor peasants in the streets, right? Okay. So any kind of revolution has to happen from the elites, from a section of the elites. Now, if you keep alienating the elites, because if you fill up your government universities like JNU with substandard talent and the elites know this, then the elites will go to Ashoka and this and that and whatnot. Okay, so yahi hoga. This is the problem. The left keeps getting a free pass because of this. If they had some like some universities or departments with dedicated people who are good, who are well published, who have degrees from foreign universities or the top Indian universities, then these people could have had a much bigger impact than 50 professors in their university, right? 50 or 200 professors in the university. Because when you see those 50 or 200 people in Delhi University, you see a bunch of average people, right? That's the whole point. That's why Anand Ranganathan, why do people listen to Anand Ranganathan? Have you ever wondered? He has a PhD from Cambridge. He can argue. He has the debating skill. Okay. He has facts. He has the talent. Why do you think, maybe I can admire a Giriraj Singh, but a Giriraj Singh won't be able to do what a Anand Ranganathan does, right? You have to understand that. So that is the whole problem with the academia. That you can put 50 Giriraj Singhs in Delhi University, then the people will see that guy and leave. But if you have 10 Anand Ranganathans or J-Sai Deepaks, and you put them in a few departments, 1 or 2 departments, and you can produce PhDs, you can produce good quality students from there, then you can create a revolution in today's day and age that you can't do with 500 professors in Delhi University. That's the whole problem.
Yeah. We'll take this super chat and then end the live stream with the triggering question for Academic Man. The super chat is: don't you think rural Bengal would vote different from Atel's?
Yes, but this time even Atels are gearing up. I'll tell you why. This is why Shomik Bhattacharya. This is why হঠাৎ যখন উঠলো কথা, ঠিক আছে?
Yes.
This is why rural Bengal and urban Bengal are more or less united at this point, and thanks to not the CPIM, thanks to the post-partition agony of people, that we don't have any caste movements here per se. So Hindus are united more or less across caste lines. Something that won't really happen in Bihar or UP, where you have to go to each caste group and kind of give them some stuff. वो Bengal में thankfully नहीं है, but not because of the communists, but because of partition actually. That's what political scientist Partho Chatterjee said, historian Partho Chatterjee said. Not the minister, the historian. He said.
Okay. Okay. Now we will take M. Shastri's 2 questions and another follow-up, which is kind of relevant. So M. Shastri is saying, I have a question for Academic Man. Are the institutions still worth capturing even? Is it worth the effort to fight it rather than direct their decline? Well, directing the decline would require libertarianism. के डिफंड करो भोसरी के डिफंड तो नहीं कर रहे हैं, फंड तो किए जा रहे हैं. Okay, where did M. Shastri's question go? He had another question. Wait, so then he says, wouldn't it be better use of time and resources to simply build a new institution instead with new norms and standards? And wait, I'll just add on another point that has come from Slevin. Wait, okay. Slevin is saying, just because the name is funny, like Nirma, does not mean that they are bad necessarily. If we judge them, then no one will try to make new good centers of learning. So these 3 questions for you, Academic Man. I won't take this today. It's just for triggering Academic Man. Yeah.
So number 1, is the institution worth capturing? Now, hear me out. Why I'm saying Nirma University? Nirma University might be a great university. I'm not against it. But let's be realist, okay? Stop thinking about like good thoughts, okay? Tell me one thing. Would you go send your child to St. Augustine's, St. Xavier's school or college? Be real with me, okay? Would you send your child to St. Xavier's College, or would you send your child to Sri Sri Gokuldham College? Be honest with me. I'm not passing judgments here. Just be honest. How many middle class people think like this? Okay. So think about it. Number one, why I gave those examples? Because if anyone who's upwardly mobile, anyone who has a bit of money right now, if you ask them this question, they will say, without blinking their eyelids, unless they are dedicated ideologically, which is a very small minority, as we keep saying, they will say St. Xavier's. I will try to send my son or daughter to St. Xavier's College. Right. Exactly. What A.K. Brahma is saying. Cultural capital of old institutions, too much to leave out. Now hear me out. You say
Okay.
that institution...
Wait. Before Academic Man actually makes a point, let's just get very clear, because we have to make one particular important point about the context. We are talking in the realm of social science, and a lot of you are conflating it with STEM, where there are tangible things to judge the university on. On social science, there are no tangible ways to judge the university.
Yes.
Therefore,
Yes.
this
Don't
context,
talk about the engineering schools and stuff. Don't go into that debate, right? I'm talking about purely from humanities, arts and sciences, arts and humanities and arts departments, right? So what A.K. Brahma is saying, cultural capital of old universities is too much to leave out. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That it was, these universities have a brand that other new universities will not have. Okay.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you guys are forgetting another aspect. Not you. I mean, when I say you, I mean everyone. That many universities abroad are now trying to open, their branches in India. So you might have a Cambridge University, Gurugram. You might have an Oxford University, Mumbai. Just like you have NYU in Shanghai, you have NYU in Dubai. It's like that, right? So don't think for a second that these universities will have any people from the Indie Queen. Why? Because they will have people with foreign degrees. Because what do parents want? Let's say you have money, you have good money. You can spare 10 lakhs a year for your child's education easily. So you send your child to Cambridge University, Gurugram. Okay. वहां पे जो पढ़ाएंगे, they will all be from Ivy League universities or Cambridge and Oxford, right? When you are from Cambridge and Oxford, what do you think you've been taught? With a few notable exceptions, most people from these universities, Cornell University, Harvard University, MIT, Oxford, Cambridge, all these universities, right? These people are mostly leftists, but they have international backing. Like their degrees have a lot more value than if a person went to even JNU or IIT. Like compare a IIT PhD with an MIT PhD, right? There's going to be a difference. And by MIT, I don't mean Maserati Institute of Technology. I mean Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Okay, so that's the problem. That academia is a caste system, and if you think that you can dismantle it with new institutions, you're in for a shock. Okay, it won't happen. Definitely not in arts. See, the arts thing, you have to understand. Arts mein aate kaun log hai? You have to understand. Rickshawala's son won't go for an arts degree, typically, right?
Yeah.
Rickshawala's son, if he's a good student or she's a good student, they will try to get a degree in maybe computer science, abhi AI वगैरह, कुछ जहाँ पे सस्ता मिलेगा, अच्छा मिलेगा, go for it.
Yeah.
And these days you don't even have to go to university; you can go online or whatever, right? Their thing is कि I want my next meal. The bureaucrat's son or daughter does not have this problem. The bureaucrat's son or daughter, the bureaucrat have a lot of black money, and their son or daughter needs to have a legacy. You can't buy. You can buy a legacy by sending your son or daughter to Cambridge University, Mumbai, maybe. Okay. And that person will speak in English. That person's worldview is British, and that person will look down on majority of us Indians, right? So that's the whole problem. That there are two Indias. I agree with Vidya. There are two Indias. One is full of rich snobs and the other is full of middle classes who are trying to catch up. And remember that these people are like there is Sanskritization. What Sanskritization was, M.N. Srinivas used to say, is that basically jo powerful hai, people want to be like them. Okay. If Rahul Gandhi becomes powerful, he is quite powerful despite all his failures and everything. There is a section of people in India who want to be like Rahul Gandhi, whether we like it or not, right?
Yeah.
So if you see that in your neighborhood there is a bureaucrat's son or daughter who went to Cambridge University or Oxford University or Harvard University, then you will try to emulate them. And when that person says ki Hinduism is full of caste and is a horrible religion, then that has more weight. That is the whole problem of this delegitimization of academia. Now, if you think that, okay, you hear a lot of things, right? You hear a lot of stories where, ye university Trump ne band karwa diya, ye kiya, wo kiya. Has Trump been able to close Harvard? Has Trump been able to close Yale? Has Trump been able to challenge MIT? Trump kuch nahi kar paya. They have billions of dollars of endowments from foreign people. Okay. And
their own pass out.
Just do.
Their own former students, alumni only donate so much.
They are crorpatis, yeah. They have like all the top crorpatis in the world. Like, and when I say crorpatis, I'm talking about billionaires with a B. Those guys are all from Harvard, Yale, this, that, whatever. They're all from Ivy League.
There's a joke about Harvard that it's a hedge fund with a university attached at the corner.
Exactly. Zuckerberg and all these people, the richest people in the world, belong to these universities. They come regularly to these universities, no matter what. And if you think about it, all I'm saying is do an exercise. Go to QS. QS is the world university ranking system. Go there and Google, check out all the top universities in China. Okay. And Singapore, China, Dubai, these few places. Okay. Shanghai, China, Singapore, and a few other the global cities. Okay. Screw America and England. Forget these places. Go to just these 4 places. Dubai, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore, and all these places. Okay. If you have these, if you go to the websites of these universities, this is where M. Shastri's last question is I'm going to make. Okay. A lot of the new universities that are established in Dubai and all these places, Dubai, Shanghai, Singapore, and all these places, they are new universities. But look at the faculty.
I was going to say that. I need to add this.
They're all white people. Exactly.
Yes, a major thing has been misunderstood by the live chat here. Something almost everyone is getting wrong here. Because AcademicMan said that Sri Gokul Dham University and etc. People are thinking, therefore, we are looking for anglicized names and then everything will be fine. No, Ashoka is pretty an Indic name. Shivnadar is an Indic name only. Yeah. It's not the problem. You have to think of it like you were taught about the caste system. Absolutely extrapolate that fucking thing onto the academic situation, okay? Because we are talking about ritual purity. It has to operate on proximity and touch. No matter what university you create today, even if it's a NYU version in Kolkata or it's Shivnadar, etc., it has to be touched and blessed by white people, bro. White people from credential or NRIs from already ritually pure universities, okay? Like how Bhatta Brahmins used to be taken to other temples, that's how it has to be operated, okay? If you the mistake of considering academics as anything other than Brahmins of yesteryears, you are not ever going to get the problem. And secondly, all of you are judging the entire conversation based on STEM subjects. And remember, what we are talking about does not apply for STEM fields. It only applies to humanities and social science fields. None of your metrics apply to our world here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And if you go to these the top universities, like I said, Dubai, Shanghai, this, Singapore, Hong Kong, all these places, go to the faculties. Okay, go to arts and science. I don't care about science. Go to arts like sociology, history, literature, and pol science and all these. Okay. Gender studies, ye bhi honge. Check out the faculty list. Check out the names of the faculty. Check out their faces. Okay. Even new private universities in China hire mostly white people.
Yeah.
तुम लोग
And
बोलते हो ना
NYU
चाइनीज
Dubai was
हाँ,
Dubai was
NYU
entirely
Dubai white
first started by people who were originally NYU white professors only. And M. Shastri gave an example of some Anandamaya University, etc. Tell me what
Yeah.
significant journal publication they have done in social science. Any pass out or PhD from that university?
अभी देखो,
OP
see,
Jindal is
M.
getting
Shastri, you're not
GOI
getting the
placement.
game. You're not getting the game. देखो, you're giving an example of OP Jindal University is getting GOI, this thing, right? GOI funding. You know what OP Jindal did 2 weeks ago? You know what they did? They opened a hiring camp. Where did they open this hiring camp for faculty? They opened it in England. Matlab, who will come? White people won't come with this. The money you're offering, white people won't come. But there are
So all
many
NRI
people who
communes.
studied, those who studied in Oxford, Cambridge, even some other chota mota university, Sussex, Wessex University, Manchester University, they will come and teach. But these are Indians, so they will, if you give them 2.5 lakhs a month, they'll be happy. You don't have to get white people. But jahan pe paisa hai, like China and Dubai and all these places, wahan pe they get white people, like full-on white people.
Yes.
Ekdam.
If you
वो लोग
don't get white people,
करवा रहे हैं.
yeah. If you don't get white people, if you can't afford white people, if you want to do a NYU light, you'll have to get people who have been blessed or touched and
Blessed by
made
white
ritually pure by white people. कुछ ना कुछ proximity लगेगा ही Western academia के साथ, नहीं तो उसका कोई credential नहीं रहेगा.
Exactly.
Okay, last question. Let's take all the arguments of M. Shastri, all our viewers here, and make at least leave one leeway for competence. Is it even possible that without these proximity issues and caste issues, we can actually have good credentialed research from in social science from hypothetical universities like Anandamaya University, etc.?
You can, but it won't get the prestige. That's the whole problem with academia. Like,
that's
I'll
another
tell you
problem, right? Yeah.
You can produce great research. I'm not saying. पहले Calcutta University में जो thesis निकलता है, शेखर बंदोपाध्याय, one of the best historians of Bengal, he did his PhD from Calcutta University in the 80s, of course, back when it was still a real university.
It was awesome.
So, yeah. Then Calcutta University is now a joke. But the problem is that you can have, again, Calcutta University is like 100 and 200 years old. So, वो भी है. ठीक है, it's not that bad either. So, given all this, maybe you can produce good research, but you know what people do first when they check publications? They check the affiliation, they check the institutional affiliation of the author. ये बहुत difficult है ये ना caste, इसलिए this is why I say caste, you can never finish caste. ये लोग जो बोलते हैं ना we can finish caste, you can't finish caste. Caste is in our minds. You look at a person, their clothes and the way they talk and eat, you make judgments about them. They might be good or bad depending on your location in society. But the fact is, if somebody is wearing Gucci and Prada and shopping in the best places and going in a Mercedes Benz and they're even, speaking in the best accents in English, you have to, people respect them. It's just how human nature works.
Yeah, and my friend Shayok Paul, the reason he got into AI in the first place was because the random run-of-the-mill generic IT job that he got into from a very famous company said that we won't give you further promotion because you are from a tier 2, tier 3 college in Kolkata. So he said fuck you and left, and then studied AI on his own and now became a global phenomenon. And M. Shastri is saying,
and how many people are able to do that? He got rejected and then he took it as a challenge. How many people are able to do that? Most people would say that, "Bhai, mera career khatam." Ekdam. Look at it in this way as well. I'll just take a second there. If you extrapolate all this stuff and think about how people perceive of as knowledge, this is the very important aspect. People never care about what logic you're giving. Bhupendra and you are two of the most educated people I know in the right wing, right? But you guys, like a Suraj Engre will never debate you. Here's the reality.
Yeah.
But a Suraj
that's why he never debated Rajiv Malhotra only. Rajiv Malhotra
he never debated Rajiv Malhotra because I know he will debate Megademic. I know. But Megademic again
Yeah,
won't
of course.
step in because he knows that Suraj Engre plays dirty. But Megademic
Yeah.
has the credentials to debate with Suraj Engre. But there are
Yeah,
the
of course.
points. Megademic does not get Megademic के बारे में लोगों को पता है संघ में और बीजेपी में. But Megademic को कोई support नहीं मिला बीजेपी और संघ से. And this support has to be hidden. That's the other part they don't understand. कि when CPIM was planting people in universities, na, they never said, तुम लाल झंडा लेके निकल पड़ो रोज. No, they said slowly and silently enter, sit in the classroom and chew their brains. They never said लाल झंडा लेके निकलो रास्ते में. Okay. It's only now that we are exposing them, but even then, they're very powerful.
Yeah. Now, some last few counters from M. Shastri. He's saying JNU did not have any prestige in 1971. Okay, how many people gave a shit about JNU in 1971, bro? They already had CU was a fucking monster in 1971. So
Exactly.
You are saying they
No,
built it over
JNU
the
was
years, right? He's
they
probably
hired
saying that.
people like
Yeah.
they hired people like Romila Thapar, and all this. अरे fund कितना मिला JNU को भाई? JNU has crores and crores of rupees of funds, सरकारी funds. There are centers like Center for Conflict Resolution, Center for Peace Studies. There are just hundreds of departments inside JNU that have 2 or 3 professors. मतलब एक department बना दिया professor के लिए. Can you imagine the amount
So
of
M.
money
Shastri is saying
government?
so M. Shastri is saying so the way to make new institutions of eminence, even in social science, would be so create any random institutions, create good STEM research at least, get funding, and then someday bring out credentialed social science research. But the moment you step into the realm of social science, you will need proximity with someone, some lecturer.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
ये AK Brahma का last comment please highlight. Not this one, the one before. Yes. यही तो problem है.
That bro, AK Brahma, bro, they did exactly what M. Shastri is telling us not to do.
Exactly. They have Japan Foundation. Google about Japan Foundation. तुमको ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. This is the fun thing. But every research on Japan by a white person. Do you know something very interesting? Out of the East Asian countries, there are only 2 countries that have the highest number of books written on them in English. Japan and China.
Wow, Modi ji.
Matlab, I wanted to check out some stuff on Vietnam and I could not find too many English books. But if you go to Japanese sociology, Japanese history, Japanese geography, Japanese anything, you will find hundreds of books, all written by Harvard. You know, Harvard में East Asian Studies Department है Harvard में. That is totally funded by Japan Foundation. Okay.
Yes.
Professors in Harvard in the Japan Foundation department are funded by right-wing Japanese people.
Yeah.
See, look at the chalaki of the Japanese government. They fund the left wing and the right wing. Or left wing or right wing में बवाल है. Okay. But they're both funded by Japanese people, the Japanese government. And ये सब हो रहा है हार्वर्ड में. मतलब जापान टोक्यो में बैठ के नहीं हो रहा है. ये सब हार्वर्ड में हो रहा है. Okay. So can you imagine they spent crores of rupees on Harvard, crores of yen, dollars on Harvard University, just funding 10, 15 guys in academia. Yale, Harvard, I can name you all the top places. Cornell, Yale, Harvard, and all the top, institutes, MIT, all the, UC Davis, all these UC Berkeley, all of them have Japanese studies departments.
Yeah, and
they don't have India Studies Department. Very interesting. They don't have India Studies Department. They have South Asian Studies Department. Matlab, we and Pakistan and Bangladesh are the same for them. Because we did not fund India Studies Department.
Yeah, why is Qatar getting into the game then? If it's not important, if it's not worth it.
Why would Qatar fund Al Jazeera, bhai? Why would Qatar fund Al Jazeera? Have you ever thought about it? They use it to smear everybody else except them. And Al Jazeera is a legit news channel. You can cite Al Jazeera. Can you cite Arambak TV? Just imagine. Can you cite Arambak TV or Jaipur Dialogues? You can cite Al Jazeera.
Global
that's the funny
elite
thing.
academia, leftist academia today is heavily funded by Qatar. And just today, I shared a video on my community tab from a guy who does Viking reenactments and discusses Viking weapons and Viking history and stuff. He was saying that he was contacted by some Muslim billionaires to write a script for a Vikings story for an OTT platform and to make the Vikings Muslim. तो हमारे भोसड़ी के तो यूएसए में वुमेन्स क्रिकेट फंड कर रहे हैं, so that's the problem. Okay,
and
last
if you
question.
look at it,
If you
go
ahead.
I'll just finish this point with this. I know this is very close to my heart, so I keep talking about this. Right. The problem with look at what happened when we did fund. We didn't fund it, by the way. There is King's College London, which was under Cambridge. Now it's a different university. King's College London has an India Institute. Okay. Guess who is at the head of that institute? Christoph Jaffalo. Who writes books against Modi every year. Who writes one book against Modi and RSS every year. Okay.
Yeah.
He's the head of the India Institute in King's College.
Okay. Great. I have one last question for Bhupenda. I'll just answer this question because everyone's been asking this. So Deepan Das Gupta is asking, who is Megademic? He's a guest. He's a hypothetical guest who will never come on my podcast because he has been heavily betrayed by our political parties in the center and their think tanks as well. But who has the credentials to buy Suraj Ingre and sell him off to another planet. He's that qualified of a sociologist, and he's our guy. But only like 5 to 6 people in the whole world know that he's our guy. No one in his entire circle, the people who invite him, nobody knows that he's our guy. Okay, and that guy has not been used by our ecosystem. Okay, he is chilling in some other first world country.
Foreign place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bhupenda, last question is, if BJP wins in 2026, will that be RSS's credit? And if BJP loses, will that be RSS's fault?
No. Okay. No. So it does see RSS as an organization, correct? The opacity of RSS as an organization, correct? So you would not find any black and white thing on RSS on anywhere, correct? Even within RSS, people will be confused. Okay, what we are doing? Mohan Bhagwat is saying that, somebody is saying that. So that is by design. Okay, if you're going to, I have actually given you the link of that podcast, which was happened between Neeraj Attri and Pankaj Saxena. So if you watch the podcast, you will get an understanding. As an institution, RSS will survive even if Congress comes to power, even tomorrow something else happens. Okay, so that organization is built in that way. They function in that way. That who is the political power ruling the country at that time doesn't make, they might be able to get banned, they will not do a lot of work, but as an organization, it will survive. Okay. So it is not dependent on BJP being in power as an organization, RSS. So they will be playing an important role if BJP wins. Okay. But it doesn't really affect RSS organization, or you cannot blame that. So you need to blame BJP because BJP has 95% autonomy to do whatever they want. They can ask RSS, please help me to win the election. That RSS can do, say, okay, I will do or I will not do. But it's a BJP's loss or BJP's win, not RSS.
Okay. Yeah. And on this point, I 100% agree that this is, I think, the biggest reason to appreciate RSS and the biggest criticism for Hindu Mahasabha. On this, they are polar opposites. Is that RSS is not a personality cult, and so will survive. They will absorb shocks. They are not rigid. They can move around. Hindu Mahasabha was not that, unfortunately. Okay then. Thanks a lot for having this debate.
Dion has been asking about China's mass bang academic institutions. I think we can have a separate thing for that. We can separate discuss that, not today.
Thanks, AcademicMan. Thanks, Bhupenda, and thanks for your deep state army, and thanks all the viewers for joining us tonight. Good night.
Bye
bye.
যদি সবাই ফিরে যায় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায় যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায় তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা দল রে, তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দল রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে, তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি আলো না ধরে ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে, যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে, তবে বজ্রা নলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে। আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে, তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো।